Word. 12. Yeah, what is up? Hello, mic is on. There we go. Word. Okay, let me shift a little bit. Move this guy a little bit. Move this guy a little bit. All right. Morning. Happy Thursday. What is going on? Oh boy, okay. Stream. I hope this microphone's still working. Let's just make sure. Word. Okay, here we go. All right. I believe this is day. No. Okay. Day 9, pre-order release of From Chef to Crafter to Conqueror, book 6 of a 14-day publishing sprint. So 60-day total book release. I'm Gabriel Rathwig, author of From Chef to Crafter to Conqueror, and I'm currently streaming the writing process from start to finish of how to write a book and publish it on Amazon Kindle Unlimited. If you've been following along, I started isn't this cute? I started a few months ago, back in end of July, middle end of July, and showing how to write a book with Mercenary reincarnated as a chef. Book 3 for a publishing company called Athon Books. And after finishing that book in the end of August, I started a new book on September 1st, 9/1/25. And that was From Chef to Crafter to Conqueror, book 6. And we finished that in 26 days. We as in I. I guess I'm saying we in the royal we for the stream. So 100,000 words in 26 days. I do 100,000 words because that's how I track the length of a book. 100%, 100,000 words. Every 1,000 words is 1%. Hence, 100,000 words in 26 days, 100%. Originally, I was doing 3,000-ish. Well, originally, back in July, I was doing like 1,000, 2,000, 2,500 words a day. And then in August, I ramped it up to like 3,000 in the middle of August. And then when I started From Chef, the goal was 30 days, 100,000 words, 10 days, 3,000 words a day, and then the next 20, 3,500 words a day. But a week in, my wife had to work from home. So I had to shift to working from somewhere else, and I didn't have my computer. So I started doing speech to text, and then I got to 4,000 words a day, 5,000 words a day, and 6,000 words a day, and 7,000 words a day. So I finished the book early, 100,000 words, over 100,000 words actually, in 20. It was actually 24 days, but 26 is when I was like, finally, like, all right, stop. And then took a few days off. We lost one of our cats, Winston. He passed away. Went on vacation a little bit, went down to Vero Beach, came back. And then October 1st started the publishing sprint. So for the wait, that's not true. This October 1st, for 14 days, I did editing and rewrites of the speech to text and the first draft. Then on the 15th of October, I set up From Chef to Craft to Conqueror, book 6 for pre-order. And so now this is day 9 since that happened. All right, and there we are. That catches things up. Now it's time to pimp myself and my books and say more of who I am and all that stuff. And again, I'm Gabriel Rathwig, and I write books. I write science fiction fantasy novels. Most people, if you've been following the stream, know that by now. This is the current series I'm working on, From Chef. Here's all my books: From Chef to Craft to Conquer, I Am Gamer, Tragic Kingdom, White Soul, Earth Online. Earth Online was my first set of books, and it's a stoner comedy in the vein of like Cheech and Chong or the Corsican Brothers meets Buckaroo Banzai, The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai. It's like 80s camp, cheesy, and it's really bad writing. It's just it's my first attempt, and they're all it's 5 novellas and 1 compilation of them all, and the grammar's bad, the writing's bad, the editing's bad. It's just so bad. The covers are collages I made at home. So this is a poster board with I went to Michael's because I thought it would be funny to make a old school goofy looking like 70s like artsy cover, right? People will get a kick out of it. So I went to Michael's and bought all this shit, and this is in 2017, I guess. Yeah. And I printed things out, cut things out, like all all things that happen in the book, right? So like, well, first of all, this is weed. This is actual nuggets of weed. And then like, things that happen, there's like a chess match that they fight in. They go to this fantasy castle, there's zombies, there's one of them turns into a tiger. Like all this just happens in the book, right? And I put that on there, and then I thought this would be cool too. The old, if you're my age, if you're above the age of 35, I guess 35 is probably the cutoff, maybe 30. You went and bought CDs, records, and they had a parental advisory on them that started in 1980s. Uh, the Democrats, actually, no, Nancy Reagan got a coalition together, Republicans and Democrats, Nancy Reagan and I think Senator Joe Lieberman, and they passed a parental advisory law because of rap came out back then, and it was NWA and God, I forgot. There's like 2 other bands, but they were so like I think it was NWA specifically because of "Fuck the Police," and "Fuck the Police" came out, and they passed a law so every record had to have parental advisory warnings on them. So that was my like homage to that, and I thought that was pretty funny and real Easter eggy, and people in the know would know. But it's just it's fun, and I like to go back to it because I I find no issue being humbled, and I like to be humbled because I don't want to get cocky and act like I'm better than I am. Because most people we think we're better than we are, and I'm not better than I am. And I remember how shitty I was at writing, but I thought that's pretty cool. And then like where's the next book? Let's see. Let's go to book 2. So in this one, like these are all short books too. They're all 100 pages. Like so, quarter of a book novella. But this one, same thing. There's a joint, there's a things, there's the world he goes to, there's a shark people they fight and stuff. If you don't know what this is from, there's a cartoon called Pirates of Darkwater that came out in the late 80s, I want to say. Either late 80s, like it's either cusp of late 80s or early 90s. And this was the monkey thing from that. I think it was called like Nimrod or something. We could just here. I could do this real quick. So this came out in 91. So yeah, late 80s, early 90s. But it was great. So you had these the pirates, the good guys, and they had this ship that the sails could turn from like pushing it to like flying, so it would like sail off a waterfall and the sails would convert and it would fly. It was a fun show. It didn't I don't think it caught because it's just shit didn't always hit back then. But that was really fun. But yeah, that was book 2. Let's see, book 3. Oh, I tried to do so every book I do has a playlist, has a audio playlist attached to it on Spotify or YouTube, and this one I did all in different language songs. So I thought it would be fun. Like here's that little monkey thing again, Captain Planet, Sunday Fight David House. It's just ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. These books are so ridiculous. You got to be high to read them. They just don't make any sense. like otherwise. Like they make sense if you're high. Like, yeah, here's the ship thing. They're flying ship, and I think there's a little bit of Wonder Woman fighting tigers. I had a really good time doing it. This is it's not Short Round, but it's I forgot what his name in the Goonies is. Oh, they fight the karate. I had a lot of fun. More pot. It's just a stoner comedy. That was book 4. Book 5. This is the last really one of them, the novellas. Oh, they kill all these guys. There's a Yeah, it's just stupid. It's so stupid. But again, I keep it because this August 1st, 2017. So that was a long time ago. It's just such bad writing. And this is the first one I had made, and that's my cat Wesley, and they superimposed this because it's just this is just not as funny as the other ones, and I don't know. I kind of didn't want to continue it after this. It just wasn't very serious. Serious is the wrong word. It wasn't very enjoyable to write. So yeah, people don't like this one at all. But I keep it there to remind me that it is what it is. You used to come from somewhere. So if your writing's better now, it used to suck. This is a 80s action flick. I did it Korean mythology. I thought it'd be really fun. But when I released it, it was right at the peak of Me Too and all the craziness that was going on in 2019, I want to say. 2018, 2019, everybody was fucking crazy, and people thought it was racist and shit. And I was all right, whatever. I had a plan to make 7 books. It was White Soul, Red Soul, Blue Soul, Green Soul, Black Soul, and then Souls. It was going to be a spoof kind of twist on Power Rangers and 80s action flicks that I grew up with, and I had a lot of fun, really, really a lot of fun writing it. And people just didn't like it. Hey, man, people just don't like some shit sometimes. This is my first attempt at a progression fantasy. It's just silly, fun. Take Big Trouble in Little China, every Arnold Stallone movie, and every kung fu 80s flick, everything from Best of the Best to Jim Cotta to Enter the Dragon. That was my idea for this series. I was like, man, this would be really fun, but people just didn't dig it. There's a scene in the beginning. There's some fucking cunt. I said it. Some fucking cunt. Fuck. Said that there's a rape in it, and there's no rape. There's an attempted, and it's stopped. But people really annoy me sometimes. Anyway, I really enjoyed writing this one, and it's fun. I don't think it's got the play it deserved, but since it didn't do so well, I couldn't really justify writing the series because I got to make money. Got to support myself. This is Tragic Kingdom, and this is the hardest book I ever wrote because it's a harem. And if you're not familiar with harem is one main character with multiple love interests, and it's sexual. A lot of sex, a lot of porn. It's it's a porn. It's this is the kind of book. This is the one that all the top 100 books are, but for guys, right? So I did a spoof. It's a twist on a post-apocalyptic world, and there's this kingdom, this magic kingdom, that's the tragic kingdom, and the world's changed and everybody's mutated and stuff, and the main character, it's kind of a twist on Fallout. I think I was playing Fallout a lot at the time, and goes this bunker, comes out after the mutated world, and it's again, the movies I grew up with in the 80s and 90s, 16 Samurai, Toxic Revenger, just crazy campy shit. But yeah, this is really hard. The story was easy. The sex stuff was tough. It's not that I'm a prude. It's just writing sex is hard. Yeah, motherfucker. I'm not like you heathen, sexually deviant Euro motherfuckers banging on street corners and talking about your T's and P's all the time. Bro, I am a prude. I'm not prude, but I am a God-fearing American. Shit, man. It was, but anyway, this was the hardest book I had to write. But the cover is dope, is it not? Like fucking Jose, man, he did a phenomenal cover. So like, you know, this is a place maybe that could possibly exist in a place. But like, see the iconic New Neuschwanstein Castle in Germany, which is the iconic example for a certain place. I'm just saying. But the story is great. I have so much fun. There's like mutants and like time travel and nuclear weapons and all the killing stuff, but they're just, sex. A lot of pop culture references from, childhood, but I think this just did a great cover. And yeah, this was really fun to write, except for the sex scenes. The sex scenes are just it's hard for me to write the sex scenes. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe it is just being a prude American. But do not for 1 second think that doesn't mean I can't fuck. That's a clip. That's a clip. Oh shit. I was listening for a second the other day to one of the older ones because I was copying information, and I heard my voice. I was like, God, I sound like a fucking prepubescent boy. I'm 44 fucking years old, and my voice when I go through the drive-through, which I don't go to the drive-throughs anymore. I stopped eating fast food a while ago, but when I used to go through, they still go like, "Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am." And so I would like be like, I'd go to like Popeyes and be like, "Let me get like like 12 blah 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 blah, 2 spicy chickens," just because I don't know. It's crazy, stupid, stupid, stupid. So I'm really proud of this series. This is my first real attempt at writing a big boy book, and this one here is only 80K, 80-ish thousand K. 2018, August 23rd, 2018. But I think I had just read Guns, Germs, and Steel, or a few of those books, and I was really into. Oh shit, the Americas had way more people, which they're finding out now. They did like the old histories and journals of travelers there into like 1500s. The first ones, talking about major cities in the Amazon stuff. They were right. There were cities all over Americas, but fucking people died. People fucking died, and a lot of it was from disease. A lot of it was from war. Lots of shit. But my thought was, I was also living in Colorado at the time. Well, if I could travel back in time and with all the stuff now, and then magical powers, and that's what I did. And then the main character unites the different. I also did it in the with a lot of native folklore and stuff. So it's all like real ish. Like it's based on Native American folklore. A lot of it, almost all of it, is based in truth, or at least their histories. And I had a lot of fun with it. But as happens, I got to book 4. And I was like, man, there's just too much going on. And I wasn't as good of a writer then. And I couldn't think about how to expand the world that much. It's just so I guess I'll go tangentially here. But what happens with book series a lot is the writers will go in a series because that's what makes them the money, and they'll stay in that series, write 10 books, 12 books, 14 books, 15 books, right? And those 15 books will make their money. But the problem is you can't remember what happened at book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4, book 5, and so on. So it becomes, uh, the Dragon Ball Z effect. Your next battle has to be even more ridiculous than the battle before it, and and so on and so on and so on and so on, which can work, albeit very rarely, but it can work. It's still though like the idea you're gonna know what you wrote 5 years ago and have a good memory of it, and then write the next book in the series is not gonna happen. And not only that, There was a show called Lost that came on back in, I want to say 2008 was when it, 6 or 8, 5, 6 or 8, somewhere on that, between 2005, 2008, it aired and ended. Maybe. I hope so. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's when it was. But that was like one of the last times that people used to like have to get somewhere to watch a show. And everybody used to get there on like Saturday night or Friday night or fucking Sunday night, whatever the fuck it was. And everybody watched Lost and talk about it the next day. But the problem with Lost is like they went so many seasons that it just got stupid. And everybody was like, well, this is dumb. I don't want to watch it anymore. Like a similar thing that happened is Game of Thrones, the last season of Game of Thrones. You know, they were like, oh, let's go. What do we do? And then they just fucking cucked it up and ruined it. Well, that happens the longer you go in a series. You can only, there's only so much you can tell in one story. Then you have to change universes. You have to change characters because otherwise you have to go God mode. And then once you go God mode, what's beyond God mode? Super God mode. Oh, what's beyond super God mode? Super duper duper God mode. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. It doesn't behoove you. But what happens is we are stupid people, all of us, and we have monkey fucking brains, and we're retards, and we get locked in this like myopic vision, especially as a author or an artist. Artists actually, well, let me rephrase. Artists get locked into it because of money, but they're also easier to get out of it because like we have weirdo brains. But you get in this mindset where like I have to make money, so I just focus on the thing that makes me money, which works for a while, but then you hit a point where I'm focusing on the money, and then the story turns to shit, and then you lose people. Like you have to change worlds to keep getting inspiration. You have to tell new stories. Otherwise, you're telling the same story over and over again. One good example of somebody who does that, two good examples is one is Terry Pratchett with Discworld. He created a world and he tells lots of stories in this world, gives him gives him a lot of flexibility and a lot of places where he can go tell stories. Another one is Tolkien. Tolkien created a whole world. I don't recommend that because that's fucking hard as shit. Create your whole language and blah, blah, blah. But another good example is Raymond E. Feist, the Magician series, Magician Apprentice series. You know, create a world, and then once you have that world defined, then go tell things in it. The problem that's hard in that is telling stories that are interesting in that world, and you really have to have a good following. So, Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman did a good job of that in the Dragon series, Dragons of Autumn Twilight, Dragons of Summer Moon, and blah 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 blah. This is the first cover he did for me that Jose did for me. Isn't that dope? These are little eaters. The eaters. There's a mythology of little midget monster fucking people in the Southwest and Northwest. Well, pretty much the west of North America, and they eat people. And these are the eaters. And then this is the main character with his tiger, his horse. This is a giant bear. I make a big deal about the megafauna not dying off. So you have like dire wolves and dire short-faced bears and stuff. But I really like this cover too. And Jose is a great dude. And this is before AI and ability to do more shit. But that was a good one. Here's one at book 2. They fight in the. They meet the explorers and conquistadors, and you know, get a little game on, you know. But that's pretty cool. That was fun. This is fun to write these series. You know, it's fun to look back to and be like, oh shit, this was fun to write, man. I had a good time with this. Because at the end of the day, oh yeah, writing tip of the day. Write shit you want to read. Write what you want. Tell the story that you will like. You're not writing. Okay, you're not writing for everybody else. You are, but you're writing for yourself. You are writing for everybody else. You're telling a story, but for the main part, you're telling the story that you want to. You're telling the story you want to hear. It's the story you want to see. The story you want to read. It's the story you want. Like you know what I mean? This is what every shit fuck motherfucker comment that you're gonna get when you write a book about somebody being like, why didn't he do this, or why didn't he do this, or this book sucks because he didn't do this, blah 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 blah. Because they want to write a book, but they're too afraid to, and they can't. And at the end of the day, when you're writing a book, you're writing it for yourself, telling the story you want to tell. That's all the point is. And look at this. Isn't this dope? This is when they fight the big ass fucking not Balrogs, but the skinwalkers and Man, there is a lot of good the owl women. There's a lot of good Native American folklore out there. If you say indigenous peoples, I don't give a fuck. Say whatever you want. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. I say Native American. I'm 44. Fucking fuck. Don't care. Uh, this is like the Remember the Alamo moment. I created like an airship thing. It's just there's so much fun with time travel and technology swapping and stuff. And well, magic is fun as fuck too. Yeah, this was cool. I it's fast. It's crazy how fast technology goes. You know, had airplanes and a big old zeppelin. That it was fun, man. This is a fun. This gets a little bit wilder. The longer you go forward, the wilder it gets a little bit crazy. But it was a fun write. I liked it a lot. I'm gonna write one more in the series. I just don't know when. Probably sometime at the end of the year. Not this year, next year. Probably next year sometime. Yeah. But I think I just gave the tip, right? Write what you enjoy, write your story for yourself. Here's from Chef. Obviously, that's the one I'm writing now. Where's book 6 coming out in 8 days? It's exciting. Book 1, I love this cover. Jose did a great job with the Mongols fighting the samurai, and then the little war junks coming in here, and then the crashing the space pod. That was cool. He did a good job with that. I liked it a lot. I like it a lot. It's great. Jose's great, dude. He just takes my silly ideas and crappy drawings and turns them into these. This was great. They build the defenses on the island, and they have all the rice and things they're building. It's just beautiful cover, right? Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that just fucking gorgeous? Then the Mongols are coming, and then they create these war carts with cannons on them. So you have these like tuk fucking drivers and samurais in the back with fucking cannons. It's so ridiculous. It's so much fun. It's so much fun writing these books. Like I truly enjoy what I do. I have a really good time doing it. This was fun. They have the ships. They take the ships out to conquer the other island. That was pretty cool. The shit, boom, blowing up the fucking orcs and shit. It's man, having the ability. How about having the chance to do this for a job is super fun. This is the orcs, not the orcs, but the Mongols finally make it, and they coming in, and this is where I introduced the kiteboarding ninja teenage ninja special forces, killing the orcs and their samurai and their giant ships. Man, it's a fun read, and it's a fun write. You're having a good time when you're writing a book, and then you're kind of like laughing and enjoying it. And you also know it was fun when you're looking back on it. It makes you smile. This was the last book. This was fun. More, flying ninjas, but during COVID, they made a big deal about pangolins and bats and shit. So I was like, fuck that. What's up with pangolins? Those are cool looking armadillo-y ball things. Those look like Pokemon. And I found there used to be giant pangolins back before like the last big catastrophic Earth event. So like 12,000-ish years ago. And they were like 12-foot tall pangolins. And I was like, shit, what if there was like 20-foot tall pangolins? That's a fucking dragon. A 20-foot tall pangolin, 20-foot tall armadillo looks down on you, fucking covered in armor, turns into ball rolls. That's some crazy shit. So that's the inspiration for these guys. They're 20-foot tall. Well, these ones are bigger, pangolins. But this is where they go to the mainland. They defeated the Armada, the first one, and they go to the court in Japan, in Nippon, the Kamakura court. And that's how this book ends. That's how this book ends, with the main characters and at the court of the Japanese shogun. But here we are. This is why I am doing this. Currently, From Chef to Crafter to Conqueror, Book 6 is the #1 new release in alternative history. And what that means is normally this little thing that says number 1 new release is an orange tag. And if you are a part of the culture, say culture, yeah, I'd say culture, writing culture, you would know that an orange tag means that you are the number 1 in a category on Amazon. And most writers look for the number 1 tag because it helps sell your books. So right now, as a new release, not even out yet, nobody's read it but me, my wife, and some people on Patreon, because I put the first half of the book on Patreon yesterday. Am the number 1 release in alternative history. Now, categories in Amazon are super fucking important because categories in Amazon, categories, sounds like I'm from water, sounds like I'm Philly. Categories and water. Categories on Amazon is how the algorithm pushes your books. So the other day when I was showing how to load your book up, sorry, I got it. Look, my bursitis is pretty much gone. I still got to wear this because it hurt like a motherfucker if I hit it on shit, but yeah, it's almost gone. Categories is how people find your books, and categories is how Amazon's algorithm pushes your books. Categories is also where people look the most for books. So let me take my mug off here. Let's switch this to a different. What if can I take my face and move it? Let me see something here. Here, how about? Okay, there we go. That works. All right. So here. Okay. Now I'm on the right screen. Okay, so over here, categories, Kindle ebooks. This is important. Main categories. Here. All your main categories, and then you go into subcategories. Science fiction and fantasy. This is main category. Everybody is there. And then after that, subcategories in each genre, fantasy, science fiction. You want subcategories in both fantasy and science fiction if you are a science fiction fantasy writer. Why? So people will look at both. You don't want to be just stuck in pigeonholed into one, which is why I have historical fiction and time travel fantasy, time travel, alternative history, and alternative history, time travel, and well, let's just go back to the fucking book in a minute. But these further break down. So this is combined, the top 100 combined here. And it's dope if you can get on here because you're in the top, 1,000. But you really want to be in the top 100, obviously. But you further break down, you go into science fiction here. Oh, wait, that's bestsellers. Let's go to new releases. So here is where people find you because you're like, what do I want to find a book at? Well, if you're in science fiction and you're in the top 100, you're in the first 2 pages of new releases. If you're on fantasy, you're in the top 2 pages of new releases. Let's see where I am. All right. I am number 38 in all of science fiction, right? Is that dope? Is that fucking science fiction? Yes. So the first page of science fiction, people will find my book. You don't have to, that's a 2-click. There's a thing, I was talking to my podcast partner, Dom, and there's a principle, I think it's a first orders principle of click through. And you want as minimal amounts of clicks to get to your product. So, like, for example, you see a short and you click it, and there's a link, you click it. That's 2 clicks. Now you're on Amazon. 2 clicks is like the max, I think. Or 3, there's some kind of psychological principle or some shit where 3 clicks is too many. So, or 3 clicks is the max. I forgot what it is exactly, but you want to have access to your content within 3 clicks. But look how cool that shit is, man. I'm in 38 in science fiction, right? And let's see if I'm in fantasy. Now, I thought I would be. Oh, look, there's my boy. He's not my boy, but I really enjoy his books. He's got great books. Oh, look who's fallen off, and look who's so Mr. Dom. We were talking about this, but staying power is a thing. I think famous authors, like real famous trad authors, have a higher staying power than than us self-published authors. Because we have real high spikes because we have a cult like following, and we'll hit real high in the charts, but we'll plateau and then we'll peak, shoot down, plateau real quick. Whereas more established authors, whereas it's funny calling Larry Correa established author because he was like one of the first indie authors that made it big with Monster Hunter, which is a great series. I pimp it. It's a phenomenal series. Check it out. I have no problem giving other people their flowers and pimping their art because I love art, and I'm not one of those like you gotta do shitty for me to do good, you know. But number 10, there you go. So this hit Sea Mantis, Path of Ascension. I think got to like number 18 on top 100. 18. That is crazy. 18. But Larry only hit like 280 something. But Larry is currently ranked ahead of him because Sea Mantis's readers are voracious, and the minute his book comes out, they like suck it down. Whereas Larry Correa's are a little bit older, I think, and they have time. They're like, I'll get it when I get to it. You know, like I haven't even finished it yet. I'm like 70% in. So anyway, that's that. Let's see. Come on, come on. Oh, no. I guess I'm not on here. That's too bad. I guess I'm only in science fiction. Well, I need to fix. I thought I put it in historical fiction, but I might have stayed in. Oh, okay. I was wrong. Point 2. Fantasy is more competitive than science fiction. More people read fantasy than science fiction. Fantasy is also what contains all the porn. Most of the porn. Most of the romance is in fantasy, therefore it's harder to rank well. So you notice 38 in science fiction, 89 in fantasy, which is, that's fine. It's phenomenal. I'm just glad I'm on it. But that's another page click through, so I won't do as well until I get on the page before that. What else? So a lot of people love here, yeah, you can see here. A lot of people love the TV, movie, video game adaptation category. I think it's a super crowded category. This is where like everybody tries to be because it's just a super competitive category, Dungeon Crawler Carl, Actus, he's a real popular in Cubanis. Yeah. Marcus Cass just put out a book. Yep. This is apparently a real famous guy, Nicholas Sainsbury Smith. I don't really know him, but we're talking about that during podcast. He's a right to market author. This just came out, Athon Books. I haven't read it yet, but the guys say it's pretty good. I think I read Accidental Champion 1 and I enjoyed it, but not enough to keep going because a book really has to get me to keep going because I'm so fucking busy with my own work that I don't have time to read other people's shit a lot anymore. I wish I had more time to read other people's stuff. A couple times a year, I take time and read a bunch of books because I just want to keep up with the market, and it's like meditation for me and my escapism. But the way I used to read was I'd take a book or two a week and just, miss those days. I don't have a personal problem with anybody who wants to use a pen name. That's fine. And I don't have a personal problem with anybody who wants to use a weird pen name. It's just kind of bitchy, it's just kind of weak sauce. Now I get it. You have a life that you don't want anybody to know, and you have personal things and you're hiding it. I get that, I understand it. It is what it is. Not everybody wants to share who they are. But the truth is, if a crazy is going to find you, if a crazy wants to find you, a crazy is going to find you. It's not that hard. Your pen name isn't going to hide you from them. These crazies are smart as shit. Just keep that in mind. So if you think that using a pen name is going to protect you from the fucking crazies, don't. It will not. Again, this is a tough category. It's not the one I choose to be in. But if you want to duke it out with the big dogs, go for it. Sword and sorcery, superhero, myths and legends, military, historical. Number 7. Woo, woo. This is one that I will probably never. It'll be very hard to get the bestseller in because historical fantasy is the number 1 or 2 chick porn category. So like, there's rabid readers of historical fantasy, like rabid, 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 rabid. And that's just Christian fantasy. I'm not writing any of that right now. Historical is what I was. That's Christian. I'm not into that at the moment. I mean, I'm Christian. I'm Catholic, but I don't really feel like looking at it. Alt history, number 1. Isn't that fun seeing that? To me. All right. Looks like it hasn't updated since yesterday. The reason I haven't been on the last couple days is because these just aren't updating quickly. We're at 290. It's been like that for hours since yesterday. And I said it before. Every time I've launched a book the last few times, there's been something going on with Kindle. And normally it's the algorithm updating and it kind of messes up my launches, which whatever, it is what it is. I mean, I'm lucky that I get to launch it on a platform like this. But the rankings for all my books should have been higher days ago. And this is not complaining. This is just telling you. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining about being ranked high or selling books at all. I'm not complaining whatsoever. I'm just explaining what is going on. So since AWS went down, that was the 18th, right? AWS went down on the 18th. Today's the 23rd. Since then, I've been stuck at 6,500. So between the 18th and 20th, it's actually right after this, it's 6,500, and then it just stayed there. So for 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, until today, 4 days I've been sitting at the same ranking. Right here it changes, but it didn't change yesterday. They had it this morning. So if AWS hadn't have went down, I would be even higher ranked, would have led to more sales, and everything, more algorithm pushes. But it's okay because it's a pre-order. And since it's a pre-order, they should have AWS back up by the time the actual book launches, like on the 1st when it actually launches, which, if anybody doesn't know, here's a tidbit. A book is only a new release for like 30 days. After 30 days, it drops out a new release and it's a regular book. So you have a 30-day window to have your book featured as a new release, which is the other thing about where the pre-release comes in, extending your new release window. Do you know what I mean? Which is what I've been talking about, the double-edged sword. If you have it too long, you lose those sales. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping 2 weeks is a sweet spot. It seems like it's good. But anyway, the point is this should be higher. But 4,000 for a pre-release without being out is actually really, really, really good. And I'm super excited and proud of myself for doing it. Yes. I think that's about it. Today was just hey, look at the book. It's doing well. The release is on the 1st, so book's coming out. Thanks everybody for buying it. The shorts are doing well. The video, everything's doing well. Like everything's good. I don't have anything to complain about. This is one of the few releases I've had where I'm just like, things are going too smooth. I better fucking knock on wood. I don't know. We'll see. It's 23rd, 28th is the last day I have to upload the book. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Monday, I'll upload the book, make sure it's all good to go. This weekend, I'll do all the last touches. Maybe I'll do the stream where I'm copying the chapters over and doing the last finishing touches and uploading it, which I'm sure I will. I think I said I was going to do that anyway. But yeah, I mean, that's all going well. Everything's going well. I can't, like, even all these ranks should be higher, which, again, not complaining, just saying. Somebody read a little harem, folks. Just saying. All right, this is good. I kind of like this Tokyo jazz stuff. How about this guitar cat? Oh, let me do the thing where I do the thing. Here we go. Look at my emails. Here. Let us put the From Chef to Crafter to Conqueror Book 2. Book 2 audio is on sale till 11/2. And there's link. Here's the link for From Chef Book 6. Let me throw that in there. I know I think I've told this before, but there is a concept, it's called a clean link. And Amazon, what it does for the searching, here, let's do this. What Amazon does for the search purposes is add a lot of tags in the hyperlink in the web address to find the book. But if you want the least amount of tags directly to go direct to the book, it's another first principle thing. So From Chef Book 6 out now for pre-order. All right, that's that. Who's this dude? You know what's fun? A fun thing I like to do is when I look at my book, I like to see who's advertising. So there's a couple of ways you can advertise on Amazon. There's sponsored ads, and then there's like ad campaigns, like targeted ads, sponsored ads. So like, I'm so tired. So the keywords, like you put keywords in, and it'll just put your book in the genre. It bids, like there's bids, like you could say, oh, I'll spend 10 cents or 15 cents an ad, and if anybody spends less, nobody outbids me, I'll put my ad there, and it shows up like over here, right, or here. But there's another way, which is targeted ads, which you pick specific books, people, genres, and you target those ads. So I always love seeing who's targeting me, or who's where I'm considered in sponsored ads. Because it's just a fun. It's a what is it? It is a nice way to feel a little bit positive about yourself without being an asshole. Because if other people are using you as a way to sell their books, then they obviously think you are successful enough to help sell their books. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that is a good thing. I have no negative will there. I'm super glad if anybody buys. Let's take a look at A Dread Tide Rising by Walt Schuler. All right. How 431 pages, October 14th, 2025. Well, this could be fun. I am not a dark fantasy guy, so I probably will pass. And there's a publisher here. Never heard of Black Spire. It's not my cup of tea. How about this guy? Genetic Ascension, Book 4. Ospec. Oh, it's a web novel that they turned into a novel. Book 4 of 8. Let's check out Genetic Ascension. Okay. So this is probably like a Royal Road or a light novel from like Japan or Korea or somewhere that they took and translated, and web novel. See. Okay, so they're just probably genre. Oh, here's a new one. Wait, let's go back. Let's do a refresh. Supreme Harem, God System. Yeah, looks like they're doing it. Well, okay, so think that'll do it for me today. I can't really give you the exact ranking for sales because of how messed up web services is, you know, like I'm currently at 4126, but we're at 290 pre-orders, which isn't correct either because we're at day 9, right? So it's been 8 days. Today's the 9th day. If we do, this is the royal we, obviously, 30, so we'll be at 300. I think we're at 300 books probably. It's just not reported. 908, that's 6 a.m. Amazon time, Western Coast time, right? So probably won't update till 10, but 300, it's less than 30 books, or wait, 40 books a day, because 8 times 4 is 32. So we're talking about 35 books a day. 35 books a day should be enough to push me up into the 2000s. So ideally we should be in the 1 to 2000s, I think. 2000, 1 to 3000, somewhere in there. But we'll see. You know, they'll update it and we'll find out. The cool part is here, you know, up 6 months pre-order, 1 month pre-order, 2-week pre-order. So if I hit 600 pre-orders in 2 weeks, that's 100% win. It's just an upward trend, you know? So that's exciting. But yeah, hopefully tomorrow the AWS will be up and we can talk about that and that'll be good. And then the book, you know, again, just kind of waiting, editing a little bit here and there, going through the chapters, but yeah, I'm not rushing. It's just nice not to rush. Normally I'm like, I gotta get it out. But yeah. So I think I'm gonna call it. Thank everybody for watching. I'll switch over to do a little hello and thank you for everybody watching. If anybody is watching on Kick, which nobody's been watching lately, but we got a new follower, Jum T Y 69. Okay, whatever. Stupid. Thanks for watching on Kick. Let's switch over to Twitch. Thank you for watching on Twitch, folks. Always somebody watching on Twitch. Appreciate you. I will be back on tomorrow, or yeah, I'll be back on tomorrow. And we got the YouTubes. I think most people are watching on YouTube and Facebook. Yeah. So, all right, peeps. Have a good one. Let me get out of here. Thank you. Buy the books. Today is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, Monday it'll be up. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Wait, what day is Saturday? Saturday's the book's live. So I'll probably do a stream Saturday as well. Watch it go up, come out, talk about that. I think Dom wants to do a podcast, Story Forge podcast. Probably do one of those. And yeah, once again, Gabe Rathway, check out From Chef, I'm Gamer, all the books. I will be on tomorrow. Adios. Take care. Bye.